Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, and a puzzle that proved popular on our Discord server. Do check out the Discord server. It's moderated by some fabulous volunteers. It's not really our Discord server, it's sort of associated with Cracking the Cryptic, but we're very pleased that that is the case because it's so brilliantly run. Great advice on puzzle setting and solving all over the place. Patreon chat, we'll get back to that in a moment. And this has led to a debut for Poochers today, who has created a German whisper and renban puzzle. And we'll have a look at that in a moment. And looking forward to it. So on Patreon, if you're having trouble with the Rostam hunt, you can get help on Patreon chat. Indeed, that is entirely possible. And there are many people there who will help you if you're stuck on one of the puzzles. The second puzzle particularly has proved quite difficult in the 7-puzzle hunt, but do join us on Patreon. Try out the Labours of Rostam. Try out the crosswords and connections videos. There's loads going on all the time. Thank you. If you are already contributing, it's really nice to have people think that it's worth $2 or $3 a month to support the channel. You can support SVEN'S SUDOKU PAD development as well on a link under the video. And of course, you can get our apps, which do feature line Sudoku and thermo Sudoku. We've got a little thermo today as well. But they also feature Fog of War and the Worms of Marty Sinclair. No, I've done that again. Marty Sears and James Sinclair. And Marty Sinclair is James Sinclair's unknown long-lost brother. No, we are going to be hopefully bringing out more apps soon as well. So we're looking forward to that. But do try this puzzle. It's called Thermoregulation by Poochers. And I'm going to go through the rules now. This is on the first link under the video. So normal Sudoku rules apply. 1 to 9 will go in every row, every column, and every... That's not quite a column. And every 3x3 box. Now, on a purple or orange renban line, digits must be consecutive and may not repeat, but could be placed in any order. So this line could have the digits 2, 3, 4, 5 on in any order. On a green German whisper lines, neighbouring digits or adjacent digits have a difference of at least 5. And on a thermometer, we've only got a 2-cell thermometer. I'm not going to fully pencil mark it. Digits strictly increase from the bulb to the end. So that's the rules. Very straightforward rules. Not that very many markings. So this might be a little tricky, but I don't know why I've got the pen tool switched on. Do give it a try in the first link under the video. I am going to start now. Let's get cracking. So the things I know about green lines are that 5 can't appear on them because it can't have any possible neighbours. That 4 and 6 are quite difficult to place in cells where their neighbours see each other. So you couldn't put a 4 here because both of those would have to be 9. And that they alternate between high and low digits, those higher than 5 and those lower than 5. Okay, so on this line, the two ends are going to be of different polarities. So what I could do, I mean, this is maybe overkill, but I could mark those as yellow and those as green. And these ones are either both high, with green being both low, or the other way around. Now, what that means for the orange line is it's got both a high and a low digit on it. And therefore, it must have 4, 5, and 6 on. You have to have the thing that connects the high and the low digits, which is 5. And you have to have at least one of the low digits, so 4 must be on the line. And you have to have at least one of the high digits, so 6 must be on the line. So this line is either 3, 4, 5, 6 or 4, 5, 6, 7. And now, one of these digits on the end of the line, at least one of them is a 4 or a 6. They can't be 5 because 5 can't go on a green line. So in fact, that's worth noting. That means one of these two digits is a 5. And wherever that 5 is, it sees all the digits on this pink or purple line, purple by definition in the rule set, It sees all the digits on this line, whether it's a 5 there or a 5 there. And this is therefore an extreme renban, either 1, 2, 3, 4 or 6, 7, 8, 9. I've just remembered. Well, I've just worked out, I've just deduced why this thermo is here. I think in a normal puzzle with just renbans and German whispers, there are always two possible solutions at least. Because the correct solution, if you filled it in and then you subtracted every digit from 10, you would get a different configuration of Sudoku digits in a puzzle that would fulfill the rules. And that is only broken up in this puzzle by the thermo. And that makes me think, given that that thermo is not really in the mix, it's not in a box or a row or a column, which has a lot of other information, I think we're going to come to it quite late in the solve. And that is making me think maybe this is a candidate puzzle for using placeholder digits. And making a decision now about whether yellow or green or some other metric, and I'm thinking about this renban, which is an extreme renban, making a decision about whether it's high or low. And it's like amounting to a guess, but we are prepared all the time to change our digits at the end into the numbers subtracted from 10. And that is what I have decided I am going to do. I am going to do it. I don't know quite when I'm going to do it, because I could choose, as I say, either the yellow or green to be high or low, or I could choose this line to be either high or low. And it's going to have a marked impact on the rest of the solve, whichever I do. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to choose this line as low, and I don't know if that's right, but I'm going to choose it as low. I am perfectly prepared to choose it to high later, and it doesn't affect the tenor of the solve. It doesn't affect how I look at things. What it does affect is how I can put in pencil marks to teach you how I'm solving the puzzle. Because once I do that, now I know that these digits, I think, cannot be 3 or 4. And that's right. That is right. So why do I know that? Because, again, these two cells, each of them, both see every digit on this renban. So if that was 3 or 4, where could you put 3 or 4 here? It would break. And the same with that. So those don't have 3 or 4. I now know that these include 5 and a high digit, 6 or 7. And that means these two, which we know from the green line are 1 high and 1 low. The low digit has to be a 4. It's not a 3, because we couldn't get 3 and 4 onto the orange line. And the high digit is 6 or 7. So what are they connecting to on the green line? The 4 must connect to a 9, whichever one it is. The 6 or 7 must connect to 1 or 2. And those are the digits that are candidates for these cells. I still don't know whether yellow or green are high or low. I know that one of these two is high. Now, I'm going to look at this line as well. And I'm going to say that we can't have 3 low digits on here. Could we even have 1? Could this be a 4, 5, 6 line with 1, 2, 3 there, 7 there, and 8, 9 here? I think that is possible. I was planning to rule it out. This couldn't be 5, 6, 7, because that would break this cell. And I thought I was going to rule that this had to be 6, 7, 8 or 7, 8, 9, but actually it could be 4, 5, 6. So, okay, let's have a quick look at this line. Now, 9 might be on this line, in which case this is 9, 8, 7. And if that was so, the high digit in those two cells would have to be a 6, and the low digit would have to be a 1. The 6 couldn't even be there because those would both be 1s. So that would be 6, that would be 1. This would be high and not 6, and this would be low. So that is possible. If this is 1 or 2, then these are all low digits. I'm not quite resolved here. Sorry. Okay, I'm trying something else then. I'm looking at this row and seeing that there are 2 highs and 2 lows on the green line. There are 2 of the same polarity here, because whether that's a 9 or a 1 or a 2, that digit is in the same highness or lowness polarity. That's quite interesting. If that was a 9, this is an 8. The low digits on this line are 7 and 6. Sorry, the high digits on this line are 7 and 6, and the low digits are 1 and 2. And this set of digits would have to be 3, 5, 4. But that is possible with a 5 here and a 3, 4 pair there. If that was 1 or 2, this is 1, 2, or 3. 4 is on this line along with 9. Again, it's very close to yielding how to solve it, but it doesn't quite do it. It's intriguing. It's intriguing. I don't know how this puzzle works yet. Oh, look, where does this go in column 2? It doesn't go in its own box. It doesn't go on its own renban line. So it goes down here. And we worked out the only way you can put a low digit down here is if the other 2 digits are not low, because there are 3 lows used here. So this is a 4, 5, 6 renban. That doesn't have a 4 in. This digit is a 4. I was going to say it's our first digit placed, but I am bearing in mind that it might turn out to be a 6, and we might have to reverse the whole thing when we get to disambiguating the thermo. Now, this digit can't be a 4, but we know there's a 4 on this line, so it's there. Now I can colour these blue. Now I can colour these orange for high, and this digit is a 9, and that's quite interesting because it's sitting with an 8. And now we do have that situation where 6 and 7 are the high digits here, along with 1 and 2 as the only low digits they can trust, that they can touch. Only low digits they can trust. Where did that come from in my Freudian psyche? I don't know. What are the only low digits you can trust? Anyway, that's a 5. This is 3, and that's 4. Digits they can trust. I mean, we talk about monogamous digits, but we only talk about them in a very theoretical sense. Right, these 3 have to be 1, 2, 3. Because of that 4, cutting them off sort of at the bottom of the pile of Sudoku digits. And now the low digit on here is a 4, and the high digit, therefore it's with, in that pairing, is a 9, and we can order those. And now we've got identification of low digits on this line and high digits. This is no longer a 5, of course. It's a high digit, isn't it? Yes, 6 or 7 is high. But it's not 6, which appears down there, so it's 7. That's 6. 6 must touch 1 on the green line. Oh, this is really neatly done. This digit is not 9 or 7, but it is high. If it was 6, this would have to be 1. That is now an 8-9 pair. I can fill in 9 and then 8 in that order. Everything else in this box is 5 or blue. One of these digits is a 6. Now, even this 2-cell renban's a bit interesting, because with 4 and 6 being gone in those positions, well, I suppose with 4, 5, 6 being gone there, this is either quite extremely high or quite extremely low. I don't know, maybe that can't really be resolved. Okay, what have we got left in this column? 5, 6, 7, 9. So that can't be lower than 5. Not very helpful. This renban? Ah, yeah, okay, that's not bad because it can't have 4 on it, and that immediately eliminates some of the possible 3-cell renbans. But also, it can't go lower than 4 because if that was 1, 2, 3, that would break. So the digits on here are from 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This one sees 8 and 9. 7 must be one of them. And 7 is also one of these 4, and that's going to use up the 2 7s for rows 4 and 5. So the 7 for row 6 is going to be over in box 4. Now, if 6 was one of these digits, the same situation would apply with 6s, and that would be a 7-6 pair. Then this would be an 8-9 pair, and that would have to be 5-6-7. It's not a problem, but it's true. Okay, where are we going next? I don't quite know. I am glad I did the placeholder thing. Otherwise, all of these, that would be saying 7 or 3. That would be saying 6 or 4. That would be saying 6 or 4. It would be, we'd be using non-blue and orange colors. It would be quite difficult to identify how the puzzle was getting put together. That's low because it sees a 5. And it sees all the orange digits in its box. Whatever digit, okay, whatever digit that is. No, what's more important is that 3 of these digits that I've just highlighted are low, are from 1, 2, 3. And 2 of them sit in these cells, and those 2 must appear in those cells, and therefore they must appear in these 3 cells. And if 2 of the digits from 1, 2, 3 are there, this can't have 2 of them. So this must be a high renban from 7, 8, 9. And whichever 2 digits are there are also here and must be in these cells. So these are both high from, and in fact, there is an effective renban across these cells because they're the same 2 digits as these 2. Now, that's interesting because that means this can't be a 7, 8, 9 renban anymore, and 9 can't be on it, because it would break this cell if it was a 7, 8, 9 renban. Now 6 and 7 must be on this renban, and that one can't be 7. 6 must be on that renban, and this digit can't be 6. There we go. So this is a 6. That is very neat again, poojers. Now, 7 is also on that renban, so this must be 7. These are an effective renban because they appear down here, so it's a 7, 8 pair. That digit is a 9, which is not on this renban, which we've discovered is a 7, 8 pair. And this set can't have an 8 in, so they're 5, 6, 7. These are from 1, 2, 3. Now, what next? That can't be 9 anymore. It's in the box. That happened ages ago. I just didn't notice. So 9 and 7 are down here. Can this be all high? If it was, this would be a 9, 8, 7, 6, 5 group. I think it can. Whatever digit that is here. In fact, these are all low. Okay, I don't quite know what to do next. Not quite time to get at the thermo, although there is a 9 now in one of these 2 cells, not on the bulb of the thermo. Ah, but this is the, okay, that is where I cannot say that. That is wrong, 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 wrong. I cannot say there's no 9 on the bulb of the thermo because this 9 might represent a 1. So I do not know. I have to ignore this thermo completely at this point. And it's only when I finally know something about these 2 digits that I can bring the thermo back into play and decide on the placeholders. So that is why you do have to be careful adopting placeholder methodology, because you can get into this sort of position where you go, oh, but 9 could never have been on the bulb, but it's not necessarily 9. This digit is 9 or 1. Now, there's a 4 in one of these positions by Sudoku. Is that any use? Not really. There's also a 4 in one of these positions. In fact, 4, 9, and 8 seem to be a double X-wing pair, triple X-wing pair. Those digits are 4, 9, and 8. In fact, I could have seen that by observing that's a 1, 2, 5, 6, 7 quintuple, and that digit is a 3, which is quite interesting and also surprising. Right, this is 4, 8, or 9, and it's on this tiny 2-cell renban. 4 would connect with 3 or 5, 9 would connect with 8, and 8 would connect with 7 or 9. Now that's a lot of possibilities, but this can't be a 9 by Sudoku. It also can't be a 7 because 7's in one of those cells. So actually this digit can't be 8. And this applies whichever way round we do. It's only the thermo I have to ignore for the placeholder reasons. Now, where does that put us? The 489 triple, that's what I was going to use. Oh, 6 is looking at that cell. I hadn't noticed that. That's making this a 679 thermo. And now this can't all be high, because that would be too many high digits in the box. So this isn't a 9. And 5 now, if this isn't all high, this 3-cell thermo, there must be a 5 on it to either transition to the low digits or at least reach 5. And now 5 and 6 have to be on this thermo. So 6 isn't in those 2 cells, and 6 is there. And now 7 is in one of those 2 cells. So this one is a 654 thermo, and we've got a 4 up there telling us which way round they go. Interesting. Unexpected. That can't be 5 anymore, but that hasn't ruled on what this one is. 65479. We've got 1, 2, 3, and 8. That digit's going to have to go here in box 8. Both. Yes, we've got to get both 1 and 2 into these 3 cells for box 6. So now we know that the low ones are there, so that they can be both 1 and 2. And these 2 are high digits. 6 can't sit here because it would be touching 2, so that's a 7. That's 6, which must touch 1, and we can put 2 there. This digit has become an 8, and that's actually not a 1 now. Now in this column, this has become a 3, and that is powerful because it stretches across here and makes this a 4. Well, I feel that's powerful. These can't have a 7 on, so that's 7. This column needs 1, 2, and 5. That can't be 5. This is 5. Doesn't get a colour. These are 7 and 6, and they do get colours, and they are disambiguated by this 7. Now, this digit is 5 or 9. Ignore the thermo, although we might not be ignoring it for much longer. In fact, we've got a 2359 quad in this box. That's the sort of thing you wouldn't notice if you were not employing placeholders. I don't know if it's helpful, but it's true. That digit is 2, 3, or 5. This digit is a 3, it looks like to me. These are from 1 to 8. Why didn't I get the mouse out? Sorry if you've been annoyed by the clicks of my mouse pad, which I hadn't really noticed, but you might have been getting raging about them. For some reason, I didn't dig out my mouse where I am and connect it. So that's on me. 2, 3, 5, 9, 8, 9, 6, 7, 4. Oh, no, that's not decided. These aren't done. There is a 7 X-wing between there and there. That means 7's in one of these cells in row 7, which is not that powerful. One of these is a 3 by Sudoku, so this digit is 1 or 2. I know that 8 is in these cells. Ah, that's an X-wing as well in columns 8 and 9. So the 8 in column 7 is in one of these. That's not actually doing anything either. Oh, is it German Whispers or something? That's the only digit. Oh, well, I've still got this row. Okay, let's have a think about this row. So this is a low one. It just depends on this. If this was 8, that wouldn't work. If this was 8, 879 would have been used, and the only high digit available here would be 6. But you can't put 6 in the middle because the digits either side of it have to be 1. So that's not 8. That's low. This is now 8, isn't it? Yeah. And this is not 8. Now, what did we learn in the bottom row? We learned that one high digit from 789 is on here, and one low digit by virtually the same token from 123 must be on here. I don't know. Oh, 5's not on that line, because that's the first rule of Whispers. So 5 in the bottom row is there, and that's utterly straightforward and painful that it took me that long to notice. But there we go. Now we've got all the low digits in row 7. So that's high, and these are a 579 triple. And that means the high digits available for here. Well, where is 6 in this bottom row? It's on this line somewhere. So it's got to be on one end or the other. And now we know that those are high digits. And not only that the middle digit is low, but that it's 1 because it's touching a 6. So we get 2 and 1 there. We can fill in 4 and 3 here. That 1, it's going up to the top into one of those cells, and I don't know which one. 6 is one of these. 5, 7, 9 are up here. So the high digits here are 6 and 8. And we do know which one has to be the 8 because of the X-wing we found on 8. That's why. Goodness me. Right, so that's going to unwind the 7, 8 and 7, 9 set. This is a 2, 3, 4 triple. That must be 4. Okay. Obviously, these two are high and these two are low. I don't know why I'm still doing the colouring, because the colouring could all turn out to be wrong in a moment anyway. We still haven't got into box 3, so my assessment that this was going to be late in the puzzle was pretty accurate. This digit is 5 or 9. I don't know. We've got to put 4 into column 8. I'm going to put it here. This is being quite recalcitrant. We've got to put 6 into row 1, and now I know that's here. And that's going to sort out the 6, 5 pair here. And one of those is orange. And that 5 can't be here. How is this go? Oh, look, that's a 2, 3 pair. So this is a 9. Well, that's not on the thermo, either in a good or bad position, but this digit is a 5. And now we see that I did choose wrongly. I chose the version of the colouring and the numbering that makes this thermo not work. And now I have to reverse that. So I'm going to first of all make all the blues yellow. I'm going to make all the oranges blue. The oranges have to be low digits. The yellows have to be high digits. There we go. We convert them back. Now, do I finish off? I'm basically going to finish off with the digits I have, so I can then convert them en masse into the real digits. Just bear with me. What I'm doing is clearly wrong, but this is the penalty of the method of placeholder usage that we took up. You had no part in it. Only I was allowed to choose. Right, this digit is a 1 because it sees a 2, 3 pair in this row as well as 4, 5, 6, 9, and 8, 7 there. That's going to unwind 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2. 3, and 2. This digit has become 7, so 9, 5, 9, 8. This is 2, 1, 2, 1. I know this is all wrong. I'm going to be changing it in a moment. I can't keep colouring wrongly, so I'm not going to colour anything else until I do my change round. Now, I'm going to put in a 5 here, and the puzzle would be finished if the thermo wasn't wrong. But what I'm going to do to subtract every digit from 10 is I'm going to pick all the ones and replace them with 0. I know that's not the subtraction, but that's so I can replace the 9s with 1s and then go back to the 0s and replace them with 9s. Then I'm going to pick all the 2s and replace them with 0, pick all the 8s and replace them with 2s, pick all the 0s and replace them with 8s. I'm going to pick all the 3s and replace them with 0, pick all the 7s and replace them with 3s. Thank you so much to Sven for supplying the software that allows this to happen. 4s replaced by 0s, 6s replaced by 4s, and 0s replaced by 6s. And that is going to complete the puzzle. And we're going to get the... hang on. Somehow I've ended up with 2 6s down here. This digit should be a 4. There must... no. It's a 1. Somehow it never got highlighted at the right moment. I don't know what happened there. There we go. That is it. What a clever puzzle. What an intriguing puzzle. What a good advert for placeholders. Now I can go through and highlight the remaining low digits and colour them because I can understand what colour is low. That one was wrong, so I just really got that digit wrong at some point when I was solving, but it was the only one. And I'm an old man. I don't feel bad. And those are high. And that is 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the spotlight, losing its religion. That must have happened during the swap overs. There we go. That is the complete solution to thermoregulation, and a very entertaining puzzle it was. Well done, Poochers, and hope you had fun with it. I hope you used placeholders because we've occasionally mentioned them before or taught you how to do them. And if that's not an easier method than going the slow way until you eventually find out that that is 5 and 8, I don't know. I'd be very surprised. Thank you for watching and hope to see you again soon on the channel. Bye for now.